To Friday's Telegraph now. Mermaids under investigation, not the mythological aquatic hybrid human-fish monstrosity. They're safe for now. Josh,
but
what's going on here?
The trans charity Mermaids to be investigated by the Charity Commission. This, for those of us involved in this gender-critical argument, this is very good news because...
Who are Mermaids? Maybe you should...
Mermaids are a charity that essentially set up to support trans children, or some people would argue there's no such thing as trans children, but and their families. Now, that is, on the paper, a very good thing, but the support that they've been giving is this affirmative action thing where they just go, right, you say you're trans, you're 13 years old, and we're going to support you to make that stuff happen. Also, we're going to go out into schools, into to the police force, wherever, and advocate for this position. And there was an investigation by the Telegraph the other day where they'd been sending free binders out to this, like, 13-year-old.
And we should be clear, chest binders, so these are, you know, obviously, in order to flatten the chest.
I use one on my stomach.
Yeah, well, no, that's just a corset. It's a different thing.
Okay.
But this is what these things do. They can actually be very damaging. They can have very
spinal damage,
rib damage,
breathing difficulties,
all this sort of stuff. So really,
broken ribs even.
The parents have to be consulted.
And they were doing it, without the parents. Like literally, they were saying, okay, which address should we send it to? Because this child.
So I mean, Kerry, this is a little bit troubling, isn't it? Because you know, the Mermaids seem to be pushing this affirmative notion of gender identity when children, as we know, are all over the place, particularly in puberty.
Of course. Look, there's an element where if they're helping children who are struggling with identity, that's a good thing. The trouble is they're going way beyond remit, according to this study of what's going on. You know, there's parts of the trans ideology I really like. They've taught a whole generation what pronouns are, which is pretty impressive.
I mean, I didn't do that as an English teacher.
I know.
I didn't succeed.
It's quite a dramatic exercise.
Although they've made up a whole load of new pronouns which don't make sense, and they've claimed that they is singular. So as an English teacher, I opposed that.
It went over the top, totally.
It did, didn't it?
But this is all happening whilst Mermaids is suing the LGBT Alliance.
So that's really fascinating, because Mermaids have kind of brought this on themselves. Because, you know, Mermaids have tried to have LGBT Alliance stripped of its charity status on the grounds that they are transphobic, which they're not, by the way. But it's drawn so much attention to them that initiated, I think, this Telegraph investigation, because they said in court at the LGBT Alliance hearing, Mermaids that is, said that they don't offer medical advice to kids. The Telegraph has now proved they actually do.
To online, their online kind of advice service, they said to like 12, 13-year-olds, puberty blockers they're reversible and stuff. And as it's pretty much accepted now by lots of these studies that they're not reversible at all.
And there are lots of potential health risks.
Like brittle bones, the way the brain grows and everything. And this Mermaid charity, they get £20,000 of public money, but they've got $500,000 from lottery companies. So absolutely, this needs to be looked into, and it's, as someone says here, you know, there's a lot of red flags in its dealing with children.
I would say so. I mean, I take your point, Kerry, about, you know, children struggling with their gender identity do need help, do need support, but Mermaid's view of support is just affirm whatever the child says, not talk about talk to them in a therapeutic way, which, by the way, is what they call trans conversion therapy. They give it this alarmist label, whereas actually that would be the more helpful thing, is to talk to kids.
Totally, but I mean, this isn't conclusive yet.
No, it's not.
But the evidence coming up is to say they've been doing things behind parents' backs, so sending out binders whilst parents have actually said they don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So
and by the way, people have been porting out concerns with Mermaids for a long time now, and anyone who raised any of these issues was deemed a bigot. By even people within our own, by comics. There are a couple of comics who really went starting Dogpiles on people.
Yes.
And it's like, and then I've noticed a few of them have been deleting their tweets supporting Mermaids over the last year or so.
I think we're seeing a lot of ideology collapsing, though. You know, I think that normally happens. Ideology rises, gets angry, reaches the point, and then has to backtrack a little bit, and then comes down to something sensible.
But I wish more people would admit it. You know, since the Cass report came out, and we now know that the Tavistock Child Paediatric Clinic was a danger to kids. It was unsafe for them. That's now confirmed. Very few of those people who supported the Tavistock have said, I got it wrong.
You want them all to come out and apologise?
I don't need an apology. A little bit of humility wouldn't go amiss, would it?
I would like an apology.
You want an apology?
A personal one, yeah?
Yes, from all of them.
Very strange.
And I've got the list and I'm ready to tick it off.
I still can't believe this group called themselves Mermaids. I mean, they lure people to their deaths on the rocks. You know, it's not exactly the